I'm Dr. Linda Makuleni, the permanent representative of South Africa with the World Meteorological Organization. I am the Chief Executive Officer of the South African Weather Service. I'm here representing South Africa. AMCOMET Marches is one of the initiatives that Africans have decided to come up with for Africa. You know, we talk about the challenges that we are faced with when it comes to climate change. We have noticed that severe weather becoming more frequent and more severe, and the intensity is high. And if you look at us in Africa, we are also dependent on sectors like agriculture, which I think it gets really affected by a phenomena of weather and climate. So we felt it was important then that our ministers responsible for meteorology, that they come together. We say, how do we deal with this challenge together as Africans? AMCOMET is unique in the manner that we are not just talking politics. We are dealing with challenges that are facing people out there. And I've given you one example of the Global Framework for Climate Services. We're saying, let's come together and say, how do we provide the climate service information? We've got that. And then we're also saying, what are the key programs that we can have to ensure that our people, their lives and property are actually protected. I'll give you another example that we will be discussing with the ministers, which is a practical example. We are looking at coming out with applications that will assist people. There is a project that was started in the Southern Africa. It's called Severe Weather Demonstration Project. It's one of those projects that as Africans we need to be proud of. It was started here in Africa, and there were 5 countries that were involved in the project, and South Africa, Pretoria, as the specialized center, was also part of that program, that project. It was looking at how we can have the capability of informing people early enough about the severe weather events that are happening, not in only the country, because weather knows no boundaries, in the SADC region. So where the focusers, the weather people, they come together and talk about what they see in this atmosphere that's going to happen, and talk about how to deal and inform the disaster management centers. And if you go now and check on your internet, there is a website where the Met services are meeting and talking and discussing, and what it does, the information, if there is a challenge in Mozambique in terms of the floods, South Africa will know, Zimbabwe will know, all the countries. And I'm telling you, we started with 5 countries as a pilot. Now all the 15 countries in the SADC region are in that program. We are expanding that program to Western Africa, to the Eastern Africa, but also you've heard me when I say Africans, we should be proud of it. It's being adopted by other regions like Asia and all that. And it started here in Africa. I think the challenge is that the finance department in the different countries and the ministers and the countries themselves, there are competing needs, and so the issue is that we need as scientists to make sure that those that are making decisions in terms of the budgets, they understand the importance and the impact. And I think for some time we were not really moving in that direction. We will only be remembered that the weather services are there when there is a severe weather event, when there are floods or people are struck by lightning, then people will remember that there is a weather service that is doing this work. But now it's very important. The approach is to say, look, the information is there for you as a decision maker to manage the risk related to weather and climate. You manage it if you know that in the next year or so, you're going to be having an outlook, and outlook is saying there's going to be more, the drought is going to be a little bit severe. You will plan differently in terms of how you do your funding. So those are some of the things that we are putting forward. And if you know that in the next in a week's time, we're going to be having flooding in this area, you wouldn't build a bridge. You wouldn't start building that bridge. You would wait for the rains. And then how much money have you saved by doing that? But I think that's the reason why maybe things have been moving slowly. And then it's important for our ministers as well to have that in-depth understanding, because when they go and articulate the needs of the department, they are able to put all these issues up front.